This white bitch over here is spouting about the damn the sign of the beast and shit.
Oh yeah.
They ain't even paying attention to me.
Oh, she is. She's standing up on one of the chairs. She's got about 10, 15 people around her listening to her.
Right.
Couple people you can hear saying cuckoo, cuckoo off into the distance also.
But yeah, I'm ready whenever you are, Kurt. We could send out this Forthington. Vera, you down, sweetie?
Vera,
Oh my God, tried to stop me.
Betty, Puck.
Vera, let me get some of that hand sanitizer, honey.
I'm ready to kick ass and chew bubble gum. I am all out of gum.
The sanitizer.
Well, Puck, these things here ain't gonna willingly take the gun and kill themselves and their little daughters for you. You might have to actually fight this time. With your
What do you
smooth-
think
with
I've
your
been doing
smooth talking
until
ass.
now, you fool?
Oh,
Oh dear.
Alright, easy now.
whoa.
You watch out, DD. He beat you with one arm cut off and lying
Yeah.
in a hallway somewhere.
Well, I don't know how much of my money was tied up into his little scheme over there in Belgium. I don't think you know much about that, Vera, but I know all about it. He built all these old folks and white people out of their money over there in Belgium with some sort of pyramid scheme. So, yeah, whatever happened to him, he got it coming.
Kirkman says, "Is that true?"
Oh, I don't know. I just read it in the papers, Kirkman. You ask the man here himself.
Yeah, I've done some dirty business. But that's for now. The focus is on survival.
I
not
agree.
about
Yes,
what
I
I've
did.
done.
An arm
That-
and a leg.
that's-
Move on.
That's something that we're gonna have to deal with later. Exactly.
Right.
It's not like I'm gonna have any kind of jokes. He says it's not like I'm gonna have a job or even a career after this mess that we're in anyway. So, and he kind of laughs. He says, "This is something that can be dealt with later."
You gonna come out the hero of this. If Dee Dee got anything to say to them reporters and shit when we get on land, I'm gonna tell them all about your good deeds and stuff. I'm gonna tell them about how Kirkman slept us high and dry and hired goddamn terrorists and shit to blow the ship up. Yeah, this is gonna be a big news, man. You gonna get all kinds of jobs. You gonna be on CNN, Fox News, all that shit.
All right, so all the lists have been given to Kirkman and the Colonel. You guys start to make your way, and with all everyone else, you guys are heading down, and you're pushing towards basically the suite of the ship, and you're going for Forthington.
Yeah, and I told Sam to stay put, and I took the knife back. Because he won't need it where he is, unless he's going to go after the lady who's read the Epic of Gilgamesh one too many times.
Whoa.
Yeah, so as you guys get back to the crew quarters, you guys are actually passing through the crew quarters, and you check on Cletus, because Cletus went back to the crew quarters because it was relatively safe.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't a lot of traffic, and Cletus is looking pretty bad. He's got a really bad fever, and it looks like he's got like a bowl of throat beside his bed. He's been thrown up. So Kirkman asked, "What in the hell is wrong with him? He wasn't bit, was he?"
I think
He's looking pretty rough.
I think somebody needs to put him out of his misery.
I don't know, but this looks more like the Romero zombies that I'm used to.
Okay. All right. You want to do the honors then, Betty? Yeah, Miss Closer. Yeah, close him out. His account should be closed now. He is overdrawn.
I say to Didi, that's what you got from sucking a wound.
But I didn't suck that wound. I did trying to do some redneck medicine.
Oh, he's conscious. Yeah, we won't just talking about killing you. Just go back to sleep.
So
Yeah,
Kirkman
I'll
tells
break
you
a peel in half and give him one.
they'll get him back to the auditorium. They check him over. He doesn't have any bite wounds on him. So Kirkman tells a couple of his men to get Cletus back to the auditorium and put him back in the back. And they've got a couple of those lion cages back there from where They do. They've got
Oh,
a couple.
good. I was
Yeah,
about to say patient
yeah.
0 when we get back.
There's a couple cages for the lions for Siegfried and Royd. No lions in the cages, of course, but because the lions are stored somewhere else on the ship. So,
Okay.
a couple of those men, they basically make like a stretcher out of a couple poles and break a couple poles off of the bar and off of the beautiful tiki bar with the velvet Elvis on the wall behind it with the white Bengal tiger.
Really?
Holy crap. Yeah, they broke the bar up, made a stretcher, and basically got Cletus back to the auditorium. So you guys basically navigate the rest of the way all the way back to Forthington's suite. And he's knocking on the door. Nothing. Forthington's not, coming. And by this time, everybody's using flashlights. Like the paramilitary men, they've got their lights on their helmets now. So the door's locked. So Kirkman kicks the door in. I mean, he doesn't even wait. The colonel says, "Let's get in there and let's get that son of a bitch, so he can't get out of here." So they go into like a military covering as they're sweeping corners and stuff.
SWAT style.
And it's pitch black in this place. You can smell where candles have been burning. And all of a sudden, a couple shots ring out, and you can see from the other end of the massive suite, you can see a couple gunshots pop, glass breaking. So everybody kind of takes cover, and basically, the colonel and Kirkman, they're yelling at Forthington to put the gun down, put the damn gun down. We need to talk about all of this. And then Forthington, he's just spewing all kinds of nonsense, basically saying that he's not going to make it out of this, and if he doesn't make it out of this, then he's going to take everybody with him, and the colonel, he's screwed this up, and this wasn't supposed to happen, and why in the hell this is happening, and things started going south when he's basically blaming everything on the colonel.
Right. We're with these guys, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Everybody's in the room. You guys are all ducked down, and you guys are all undercover right now.
I'm just watching to see how this plays out. I mean, yeah, they got the colonel here. He just accused the colonel of fucking everything up.
Yeah. And then the emergency lights come on for a couple seconds, and you can see that this is a beautiful, a beautiful room. There's several rooms off to the side. There's you guys are in like a dining area with bookshelves everywhere. A lot of broken glass around the shelves from where he was shooting rounds into the bookcase, and then basically the lights go back off, and so he's fired about 6 rounds so far. Nobody's been hit. He's just in a panic. He's just Forthington don't know what the hell what's going on here.
I whispered to one of the paramilitary guys. Or, in his direction.
Okay.
Can't you shoot his arm or something? Or leg? Just wound him.
Yeah, that's one of the guys gets on his headset, because you can tell that they're starting to speak on their headsets with the colonel, and you can see a couple of the guys are starting to crawl left, sweeping left on the floor, and Forthington is still yelling. And Forthington's this guy up here in the top left-hand corner. This is what Forthington looks like, and this is the late great Captain Romero that died from taking a couple shots to the chest on the bridge. So that's Forthington here on the left-hand side. All right, so basically the men sweep over to the left, and Bracken, the colonel basically says that he's going to draw the attention. So he basically holsters his sidearm and slings his SPG over his back, and he puts his hands up, and he has his light on, and he tells Forthington, he says, we need to talk. I'm not armed. I'm coming your way. We need to talk about this now. We have 300 people that are living in the auditorium that need direction from you. They're waiting for you to come and talk to them. We need to get you there. So, just as, Forthington kind of rounds the corner, and then all of a sudden you hear one round go off, and you can see sort of like a small blood cloud of blood erupt from the arm of Forthington, and you can hear that the ground, the gun hits the ground, and then everybody just kind of rushes in to get him.
Kick him a little bit.
Yeah.
Give him a couple for the road.
Yeah.
And then you might want to tie him up that wound after that, because
Yeah,
even
he's bleeding
an
pretty
open
good.
wound, if it comes in contact with one of those things, can infect you.
Right.
Oh, good idea.
I
Yeah.
know a little something about gunshot wounds. I'll take a look at it.
All right. Give me a medicine check. But he's definitely got a pretty bad gunshot wound to the arm. One of the rounds
Does he
from the
let me look?
SPG.
Does he let me look at his wound?
Yeah, he's out of it though. He's sort of like in shock, and he's crying, and he's just scared out of his mind.
I'm a little pissed off at him. I'm gonna press my thumb into the wound and. Oh, just calm down. Just calm down. I'm taking a look at it. Yeah, it's nothing. It's nothing.
I have a sanitizer. Squirt some of this in there.
Yeah. Give me some of that. Squirt some of that in my hand for me, Vera.
And put his tie into his mouth so he muffles.
Yeah. Well, I like to hear the screams. I know the patient is still lucid then. A little hand
Yeah, but the
sanitizer
things
in
out
it.
there can also hear the screams.
Yeah, I don't manage to fix his wound all day.
This
make it
wound
worse if
is.
anything.
Yeah, this wound is definitely way out of your league. The shot on this. So Brackenridge, he also does a check, a medicine check, and he's not successful either. He goes, God damn, that looks bad. I can't do anything for that.
Yeah, and I put my thumb on.
Stand back. I have fixed horse in farms before. Hold on.
Okay, all right.
You have medicine.
Oh my.
Make way for the expert. The hand sanitizer didn't seem to stem the bleeding at all.
No, it looks pretty bad, Vera. All right, so
I will give it a try then.
Whoa. This guy's bleeding out.
Puck, you have healing.
Okay.
Yeah, you're able to get it stabilized. You get like you tie some of, you grab some of Dee Dee's FUBU shirt that was hanging down that was ripped.
Shit.
You rip some
my
more
belly
off.
button showing that.
Yeah, now he's got like a cutoff now. So it looks like Dee Dee's wearing a cutoff FUBU shirt, and you're able to take
it up at the front
yeah.
into a knot, Dave.
Okay. So you're able to get, basically get his arm,
I've got an Audi
tied
too,
off.
so it's just sticking out. Everybody's looking at my huge Audi.
Oh
I
my
told
god.
it to stop bleeding then.
Don't
yeah,
tell me I have
you
an
get it.
Audi.
You get it to stop bleeding.
Got two of them, Vera.
So as he's trying to, you pull the gag out of his mouth, and he actually he's crying, and he actually grabs you, Puck, and he starts hugging you, and he's thanking you for saving his life, and then he's kind of shakes the cobwebs out of his head, and he says, thanks everybody, and he starts to start hugging everybody, and basically in the group, and Kirkman's like, well, we need to get you to the auditorium, but first, basically Kirkman picks his ass up and slams him down into a chair, and he says, he basically points the gun between his eyes, and and now Forthington is going back into the crying, and I don't know what the hell is going on. What are you gonna steal my money? Are you stealing my diamonds? What are you stealing from me? And what are you gonna try to steal the ship? And he's like, is this all your fault, Kirkman? And he goes, no, you're gonna start answering some questions for us. And then all of a sudden he looks back over towards the colonel and starts blaming everything. And he says, all you were supposed to do was sink the fucking ship, and you didn't do it. And he goes, why are you doing this to me? And the colonel's denying this, and he says he didn't have anything to do with it. And then the colonel, he basically levels his gun at the face. So now Forthington's got 2 guns pointed in his face, and tells him that he didn't have anything, and an Audi belly button. My son is just like shaking his head. So it looks like these 2 guys are fixing to kill him, and the 3 are starting to yell at one another. So what do you guys think? The paramilitary.
White boys handle it. I'm gonna step back.
The paramilitary, they're staying out of it. Kirkman's men, they're staying out of it.
I want to look around in the room and try to look if I can find any papers.
So, fuck the guy getting his head blown off. You're going to start looting the room. All right, that's cool.
No,
Some papers or something.
I'm looking for some papers.
Papers for what?
Like clues to
like
what
clues
may
to
have happened.
what is going on. Like, why does Forthington have to,
well, seeing that
blow up the ship? And
seeing that it's dark, and the only thing that you can see are the flashlights that are basically pointing on Forthington. Yeah, you can have. I mean, you have a flashlight. Everybody has a flashlight that you got from the security suite. But you're kind of glancing around the room that you're in. You're sort of in like the. It would be basically the equivalent to like the living quarters where the TV is and stuff. And this is where Forthington is slammed down into one of these chairs where the broken glass table is, and you can see that there's 2 guns pointed in his face. But you're looking on the floor on the other table that's there, the 2 little 2 little end tables, and Puck, you don't see anything at all, no papers at all. Vera, Betty, what are you two doing?
Who's pointing the guns?
Kirkman and the colonel.
Kirkman and the colonel, they're pointing him right in the face of Forthington.
I say, hold on, are we going to interrogate this guy?
Well, yes, we're trying to, but he's the colonel says, well, I don't appreciate him basically blaming me for this when I'm the one that he hired to sink the goddamn ship, and I come here to do the job, and I can't do my job. So that's basically what he's saying.
Well,
he's wanting to.
You use force in interrogation, why don't you just let me simply ask him a few things?
Oh, why don't you give me a persuasion check real quick? Do you have persuasion?
Yeah.
All right. Oh my God, are you serious? Holy shit, nice explosion on that. Jesus, babe. He says, all right, you got a minute, and then I'm going to blow his fucking head off. If you don't, if you're not done in a minute, I'm gonna blow his fucking head off. Is that fair? And then he kind of just walks away.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
Takes the butt end of his gun and hits one of the lamps. Boom, shatters it. Yeah, Colonel's pissed.
All right. Well, I sit in the guy's lap, and I shoot him away. He's sitting in a chair, correct?
He is. Mm-hmm.
Alright, put an arm around him, comfort him. Alright, you see, the Rambo guys, they want to shoot your head off. But they don't need to do that. All we need is a few answers, that's all.
And he's shaking his head, yes.
I'll say. So, when you have decided that you are going to answer one of my questions, I will pull that out of your mouth and you can give me the answer. And I look and I say, what is our first question? To Kirkland and the Colonel.
He's trying to say something.
No, you just wait. I'm going to ask you a question first.
He's shaking his head. Okay, yes.
Alright, does Kirkland or the Colonel have a question that I meant to ask?
Yeah, the Colonel comes up and punches him. BAM! He says, I'm going to ask you this one time. are you doing this to set me up? You know, and blood is like kind of coming out of Forthington's nose, and he just and you know the colonel pulls the dirty sock out of his mouth, and he says, "No, he didn't. He's not setting anyone up. He doesn't know what's going on." And then he says, I assume you probably had something to do with this, because everything was going smooth until you came onto the ship. But he says, I'll talk. I'll talk. I've got nothing to hide. He says, I'll talk. I will definitely talk.
Well, did I ask him a question?
Sure. What is your question?
Why are these people eating each other?
I only saw that once, and I have no clue. This is what I thought the colonel brought onto the ship. I don't know if it's an act of terrorism. I don't know what it is, but this is not my doing. I didn't mean for anybody to get hurt. You know, all I did was hire the colonel here just to sink the ship. You know, I'm deep in debt with my investors here. You know, this ship has literally wrecked my entire life. You know, it's bankrupt me, and you know, building the Pinnacle. It's literally bankrupted me, and now I got 20 different banks calling me on the loans. They know that I haven't even had the ship sail yet, but this is a bad investment for me. So this is why I hired the colonel.
There weren't enough lifeboats for everyone on board. What do you mean that you weren't going to hurt anyone? Because we were going to have it to where the Coast Guard was going to come, but as soon as I started seeing all this other crap going on, I couldn't get the Coast Guard out here. So that's why I wanted Kirkman here to handle this thing internally, nip it in the bud. But then it got out of hand. I don't think Kirkman has anything to do with it, because he's the one that's been trying to, you know, along with you good folks, you're the ones that are trying to stop this. I didn't do this. I swear I didn't do this.
Yeah, and I also believe if you beat a scared man enough, he'll tell you that he wears women's underwear and is the king of Siam.
Look, I only do that on Wednesday nights, and it is only Saturday right now, so I've got 3 days left before I got to get into women's underwear. No, I'm just kidding. You know, he says, look, I just wanted to sink this boat and make it look like some kind of terrorist or pirate attack. That's all I wanted to do. I wanted to collect the insurance money. I wanted to pay off all these goddamn banks that keep calling me, and it's ended today. I should have never, ever, ever tried to make this ship happen. It was just way too much money. Way too much. This got me in over my head.
Is there some sort of sense motive thing in this game?
Yeah, I believe it's... One second. I think it's... Hold on.
I don't remember seeing it, but I could be.
I think it's notice. I think it is notice. Let me double check.
I'm looking at his body language and stuff while he's relating all this information. My street smarts, my street sense is tingling. I want to know if this white boy's telling the truth, or to my best ability, is he telling the truth?
Yeah, notice is spotting hidden things, scrutinizing other characters to see if they're lying, frightened, and so on. So yeah, you can do notice.
Yeah, I don't know if that's enough or not.
I obviously am not sure if I believe him or not. So do you want me to do one as well?
I would like everybody to do a notice check. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you don't have notice, then you're going to be doing unskilled. But yeah, Puck. You think he's being sincere. Same with you, Betty. Even though you don't believe, you still think that he is telling the truth. You know, Deshaun also your wild die.
All right.
You notice check. Let me do the notice checks for the other two wild dies I got. Yeah, Kirkman. He actually he's believing him a little bit. Brackenridge. Yeah, he still doesn't. he believes him, but he still doesn't like being blamed for this stuff. You know what I mean?
Dave, out of character for a moment.
Sure.
Investigation. Where can I use that for?
That's like the internet and papers and stuff.
Yeah.
Trying to study things, figure things out.
Oh,
Alright,
okay.
in character, I'm just going to get up. I guess this is all pointless.
Yeah, I don't think this white boy. I think he just want to get the insurance money and cash out. I think he had a dream about this boat, and that shit cost too much for him. That's all it was, really.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That's the dream that I had, and when I knew that the dream wasn't going to be reality, then of course I have to sink the ship.
All this shit, man, was a little bit too much. Hiring these military guys to sink the ship, I just don't think that was the right way to go about it. That's a crime, man.
Now, with
of course
money,
it's a crime.
We will keep the secret for you.
I'm
Let the
gonna
negotiations begin.
Oh, I like what you think, Vera.
I'm gonna
Why don't you give
ask,
me a persuasion check on that, really quick? Give me a persuasion check. He says, I'm sure is some kind of arrangement that could be made.
Ask him about these boats. Do you have like a boat that you plan to flee to, man?
Well,
You got your own personal?
I was going to be on the boats with everyone else.
Oh, okay, all right.
I know that the colonel here, he came in on his own boat, and now the colonel kind of, you heard him take a deep breath, like a sigh. You know what I mean, like a sigh. So he's like, hey, the colonel got here on a boat, so he has a boat.
Right on. I turned to the colonel. So if things don't go good, man, I can get a seat on that boat, right?
He says there's enough room.
Thanks, bro. I give him a fist bump, Dave. I don't know if
Dave,
he
I want to
reciprocates
ask,
or not.
He doesn't reciprocate the fist bump, so he kind of leaves you hanging. But he says,
Oh, man.
there's enough room.
All right, okay. I can deal with
Dave,
that.
I want
Don't
to
worry
ask
about that.
one more question to
Kiwi, thanks for
Forthington.
stopping by. Take it easy, Kiwi. Sure, Puck.
Is there anything else that is brought onto the ship? Like some special cargo or something?
Special cargo. I mean, what kind of? I mean, no. I mean, there's really nothing. There's nothing illegal, if that's what you're insinuating.
No.
I don't have any
like,
Ponzi schemes going on the boat, Puck.
No, but I mean like military stuff or stuff that doesn't want to be registered like it has to be.
No, the only thing that's on this boat that wasn't originally on the boat is Brackenridge and his men. And in fact, Kirkman wanted automatic weapons, but I vetoed that because I knew that Colonel Brackenridge was coming on the ship. So I didn't want his firepower to match Colonel Brackenridge's because I wanted the ship to be sunk. But that I'm telling you guys, I swear that's all I know. I don't know how this outbreak is going on the ship. I have no clue about it. For all I know, it's Brackenridge, but
Well, he's also not the one that killed the radio with the security code.
well,
Yeah.
well, I'll turn the radio back on. Just get me to the bridge. I'll turn it back on, and we'll call whoever we need to call. We'll call the
There
Coast
is no
Guard.
bridge anymore.
I look at Brackenridge and kind of would cut my eyes at him when the mention of the bridge comes up, and his whole boy dropping the grenade and shit.
What?
I don't think the bridge is an option anymore. for them.
Where's the captain? Where's my friend Captain Romero?
Captain Romero is dead, thanks to your little scheme here.
Oh my God, the captain. Oh my God, his 12 children. What is his wife Margarita gonna do? Oh my God. Oh.
Sure, the government will give her a check. Don't trouble yourself too much, Mr. Forthington. We take this honky and throw him in the
Awesome,
tiger
Kiwi.
cage with Cletus.
No, don't. I'm sure.
There ain't no tag in there. We just don't want you freely roaming about the ship, man. I'm sure you can understand that. You've caused enough